everyone, I'm Dara. Today I'm going to be working on fixing up this hoodie that belongs to my husband. It's in really rough shape, so it's going to be a mega mend. If you'd like to see what I'm going to do, keep watching and I'll show you. Okay, so let's have a closer look at all the problems with this hoodie. So here is the sleeve. We've got a bleach stain, holes. The cuff is completely open and ripped. Both cuffs are like that. It is actually quite a good brand. He's had it for, I'd say, over 10 years, so I want to try and save it. Okay, so then we have the front at the bottom here with the hole in the pocket, and the bottom band is in terrible shape as well. And we got wear. And let me show you this. Wear here. And holes in the hood. This zipper still goes up and down. The tab broke, but you can still get it done up and undone. So I don't think I'm gonna try and replace that hood right now. We got some issues there. But the thing I have in this hoodie that most hoodies don't have is this extra flap. It's called facing of fabric. And so I'm going to be harvesting that or stealing that to make little patches here. That's what I'm going to try and do. We'll see how visible it is. So where to start on this? Because I'm not even sure if it's going to be a successful mending job. Right now, he just wears it in the garage. He doesn't wear it out in public. So I'm confident about sewing those up. And I'm confident about replacing these cuffs. I'm not too sure about these. And I'm not too sure about what to do for the bottom. So I think it probably makes the most sense to start in the spots that I'm not confident with to see how it goes, because I know. Okay, so this is a little piece of the gray cotton that matches the hood that's wrapped around this edge of this facing. So I'm actually going to try and salvage that rather than just cut it off, because I might need a little patch for this, or because I don't have like a plan. I want to keep the elements until I know what I'm doing. So that comes off pretty easy, so I'm going to do that off camera. Okay, so I got that piece of trim off the facing, except I chewed up that end, and then this end was already chewed up, because I was thinking it might be all right to just reuse it along here, like that. Well, it's long enough, but I don't know how to solve this problem. So I think I am just going to, got my threads there, use the facing itself. But I don't think I need it to be this wide, and I need one for the other side. So I'm gonna cut it in half like that. Double check that that's wide enough. Yeah, it is. Okay, so I've pressed it, and you can see the edge where I snipped it out isn't exactly straight. So I'm going to straighten that up. Okay, so I've used my iron to give me a cutting guide here. Okay, so here's my nice clean edge. And now I'm going to pin it, as I don't want this to get caught in the zipper. So I think I need to head that way a little bit and just, yeah. So I don't need to turn under the edge because it's not going to fray. So then I've still got more wear here, so I'm just going to continue. I'm trying to decide if it will look better if I just continue the patch all the way to the top or if I just stop it halfway. I'm going to continue it all the way. Okay, so that's that pinned on, and there is no way that this is going under my sewing machine. It's so many thicknesses of very thick cotton, so we're on to some hand sewing. Okay, so that first side is sewn on, and up close, you know, the stitching certainly is visible, but because it's dark from a distance, you know, it doesn't look too bad at all. And I've pinned on the other side, and I'm at a spot right here where I've got so much wear that I feel like I need to make a decision about what to do with this band before I, you know, sew this down because of this wear spot right here. So what I'm thinking to do, I'm feeling a little bit nervous about it, but is to, I was gonna just cut it and then sew the new knitted on band to it. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm not gonna leave the zipper to be you know, dangling. I think I'm leaving that there because I think I can sew my knitted thing on top of it. So let's go. Can always trim that a little closer if I need to, but I am going to cut above this seam here, but I can almost not see that seam. But I want all of this, I want this to be gone. I just want this single layer. Well, I'm gonna have my pocket still, but, and then the other thing I was thinking is maybe I can move this patch to here to cover that. So let's keep going with the cutting. So look at that, I cut off the worst part of the pocket. So I don't even think I need to move that patch now. Okay, the other area that's a problem is this hood. Next thing is to just snip this grommet right out. Okay, so my next challenge is where the grommets were for this pull string for the hood. And then also there's that big worn patch there. So I've cut out my second facing, and I've cut myself these two pieces. And I don't know if this is gonna work, but what I'm gonna do is just kind of overlap it like that. But before I do that, I want to put like a buttonhole here. So I have here a tiny scrap from the quilt that I'm working on, and I'm going to put a little backing there. All right, here's my two buttonholes, or substitute for grommets, and that's what they look like on the back. So this stuff makes it a little tougher to get the needle through, but having the stabilizing fabric and also the glue there, I think, let me keep the shape more circular. So here was my first attempt, and my hole got all bent out of shape, and I don't know if they show, but there's tears in the thing. So that's with no stabilizer. And then the other thing I tried to do was use this binding that was on the inside of the zipper facing and try and sew it around, but oh my gosh, it was fiddly as heck. So I decided to try another option. So now I have to figure out, make it up as you go along. Okay, I've decided to do it over top because of my big, hole there, and also to cover that hole there. So I want it lined up right here, and I want to flip it over there. So I don't think it matters if this side is sewn closed, actually, because this is where the tie is coming out. So I don't think I have to be quite so particular on this bottom end here. But on the top end, I do. Oh, okay, so my hole's shown through there, so I have to I think, spin this. So, and I want this edge lined up with this seam because I just feel like I can hide it a little bit better. Okay, it occurs to me that I can get my whole side down without worrying about sewing this closed as long as I stay close to the seam, and I'll still be able to fit the drawstring through. So that's a little bit less pressure. So I will keep going here. Okay, so I can't get my finger in there to make sure that I don't sew this channel closed when I sew this edge down. So I'm gonna try my pen. So there's my channel. And let's see if I can get that to work. Okay, there it is finished. And there, it's not sewn together, and like I'm still gonna be able to get the drawstring through. And here's a quick comparison to the other side. So I think that is an improvement over what we had before. So I'll keep going with this side now. All right, that's that done. And now to feed this through. This is the drawstring that was in there before. Okay, those are all sewed up. So before I go any further, I'm going to baste these pocket bottoms together. So I'm going to apply a blanket stitch with my yarn, and I've split my yarn into 2 plies along the bottom of the whole hoodie because I'm planning to knit the ribbing. Okay, I finished all my blanket stitches and I'm going to use my knitting needle. I have a long one here to pick those stitches up. I'm estimating that I need 3 extra stitches because I want my ribbing to cover this. I'm just going into the top of each of these blanket stitches and pulling through a stitch onto my knitting needle. Okay, and I'll keep going the whole length of this hoodie. Okay, I'm done picking up all my stitches here. And I think I'm going to need 3 more stitches to cover this area. So I'm going to cast on 3 stitches. Okay. So this is my right side, and I want my ribbing to be knit 1, purl 1. So that means I want to start on my wrong side with a purl 1. And this first row is always really hard. So here I go. You know what? I think I'm going to cast off this row. Okay. See if I have enough to do the cast off. Okay, I think I'll clip this in place before I sew it on. This is pretty worn here, so I think I might, before I start there, I'm going to just put some reinforcements there. Like some reinforcing stitches. Okay, that's attached. And I did a whip stitch along the back. And there it is on the other side. And let's just zip it up. And there we go. Okay, so the last thing is these sleeves, and I've done a replacement cuff on sleeves in another video, which I will link below, but I'll quickly show what I'm doing here. And I want to get rid of that. So what am I gonna, how far up from the seam? So let's say, because I want to do the same on each. So I'm gonna go to there. So 1.25 inches, that should clear it. Okay, so here's the mended hoodie. I don't know if you can see the grommets. How does it feel, husband?
These cuffs feel great.
Excellent. And it looks great on you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sticking with me while I finished working on mending this hoodie for my husband. I think he's still going to be able to wear it, and it's going to last however much longer we get out of it. You know, it took a long time. It took me about 4 afternoons to mend it. And, you know, I think with mending for me, one of the things I have to keep in mind is that it can be a slow process, and it's an investment of time. That's okay. I have time, and I want to be able to keep things out of landfill and keep using the stuff that we already own. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon in my next video.